It's being reported in certain outlets that Anthony Gordon has told Everton and Frank Lampard he wants to join Chelsea.
Okay.
So that moves it along a bit. When the player now is seemingly agitating for the move, Everton find themselves in something of a predicament, don't they?
Sell him, cash in on him. Brighton took £62 million for Cucurella. If Chelsea are stupid enough to be the latest incarnation of Johnny Splattercash, let them pay for him. Go and get the 60 million quid, get it on the nail. I think most Evertonians will look at that with a degree of disappointment, but realise it's good business, but we want it spent back in the team.
Does this not prove, though, Simon, that the players
do it now?
The players have got all the power. The players have got all the power.
No,
Look, you just mentioned Cucurella there.
Chelsea have all the power, because if Chelsea come in for this player, right, and they want off 25 million quid, Everton will say go forth and multiply. Right? But because it's getting into the territory of significant levels of money which make it almost ridiculous, this player is not a £60 million footballer. If you're going to get £60 million for him and you're going to make Chelsea pay it on the money, on the nail, without paying it on the drip, which they tend to do as a matter of course, bang, you've got some power to be able to go out there yourself. But what they've got to do is they've got to do it now. Right, because they've got 9 days to finish this transfer window off. They need to be able to utilise that money. It doesn't need to burn a hole in their pockets so everyone else can take it off them with inflated prices for anything they want to buy. But they need to get the deal done. And if the player wants to go, let him go.
It's been reported, Trevor, that Gordon himself is keen to play Champions League, wants to boost his World Cup chances.
Yeah, I think in different circumstances, you could say to Anthony Gordon, sit there, continue playing and keep quiet. But I think in this circumstance, with the amount of money, as Simon's just mentioned, it's a huge amount of money. He's only really had one decent season, which was last season. The season before was a breakthrough season where he played a handful of games. I think that the amount of money, plus the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, they've got plenty of other options on the wing, Everton, and they're desperate for a centre-forward. If you can get the money in on the nose, Frank Lampard has got 9 days to utilise it with his coaching staff and his scouts and his recruitment network. I think that will be fantastic business for Everton. Although for the fans, I understand it'll be disappointing to lose one of their own.
He can go to Chelsea, and potentially, if this is he believes his opportunity, he can sit in the same position that people like Steve Sidwell and Danny Drinkwater sat in, because there's no given. He hasn't learnt his trade yet. He hasn't earned the opportunity for 60 million quid, but Todd Bowley and his team, and I've been critical of Gary Neville pushing back on the argument that he makes, but if they're so desperate to spend ridiculous amounts of money, then you'd be bloody foolish not to take it, because that kind of quantum for this kind of player...
Exact.
And Ross Barkley is another case in point, absolutely, Trevor. So with that in mind, Everton would be well served turning this into a proper financial windfall, and windfall is the terminology of the day, and not being taxed on it, and using it to go and spend on other players that we want to be at Everton, see the opportunity to be at Everton as the one they want.
Trevor, is this a demonstration of a player showing us that he's very ambitious?
Yes, it is. I think so. I think you look at the way that the club has produced performances over the last couple of years. It's not been great. The ambition that was there a couple of seasons ago, Carlo Ancelotti, and the club was on a high, and the expectancy was high. It's not really materialised. This is a young player who's done everything right in that period of time, and he feels probably the club and him are going in different directions. He wants to go that way, and his performances have proved that, both in the under-21s and for the first team as such a young player, and the actual club's performance is dipping.
Yeah, but is he forgetting quite quickly it was Everton that gave him the chance?
No, he's not forgetting that. He's just being honest. He's putting his cards on the table and saying, listen, I want to go. I want to play Champions League football. I want to challenge myself. The club don't have to let him go, but I respect players who actually come out and be honest and put the transfer request on the
he's
table.
He's putting his own club in a difficult situation now.
Well, no, he's not.
Saying that he wants to go.
Well, no, he's not, because the
argument is he should stay out of it and let them do the business.
He's putting himself in a difficult situation, because if Everton, and they've got every right to say this, no, you're staying, you've got 4 years left on your contract, you're staying, you're not going anywhere, then he's putting himself in an unbelievably difficult situation.
Do you think Cucurella was right to agitate
fans
for the move out of Brighton and put in a transfer request? You think Anthony Gordon's right to verbally tell Everton, try and get this done because I want to go to Chelsea?
Listen, players are allowed to do that. It's within the rules. You can put a transfer request in.
Look at the lunacy of the market, Jim. I mean, we are in a world that's falling apart at the seams, right? And the football world seems to be ignoring that and looking at the reality of this situation. And I know that sport will stay a constant, because the one thing people will be able to do is perhaps sit at home and watch sport during the winter when they can't do much else because they haven't got much money. They'll value sport even higher, perhaps, right? This is the reasons why people are able to do these things. But look at these transfers. Anthony Gordon for 60 million quid. What? I mean, Haaland went for 51 million quid. Okay, that's because someone protected his contract and put it in a situation where the player was in control by having a release clause. 60 million quid for Anthony Gordon. Send him in a cab. Quick, before somebody actually wakes up and smells the coffee. 60 million quid.
Chelsea fans, what do you think? Anthony Gordon, 60 million quid, as Simon says. This apparently is what Todd Bowley is prepared to pay for the player. Would you welcome him at Stamford Bridge? And Evertonians, if it is indeed true, and I've no reason to doubt it, that this lunchtime Gordon has told Lampard and Chelsea and Everton, I want to go to Chelsea. Is that the right move, the right decision for Gordon to make, even this early in his career? You can let us know about that. I'm quite sure Evertonians somewhat up in arms about their club being used like this. 03717 223344 81089. Simon, very briefly, if you're Farhan, do you not say to Bowley, well, if you want him that much, it's 70? No, wait, hang on, 80.
It's gift horses and looking in the mouth, all right. I mean, the bottom line is that 60 million quid for Anthony Gordon is a hell of a price. Take it, realise when you're ahead. This is the economics of madness, and clearly Todd Bowley seems to have too much cash laying around in his pocket and wanting to make points. I don't see Anthony Gordon improving Chelsea to the point that £60 million justifies that fee. And Everton should rub their hands and go, thank you very much. Wonderful, a windfall for us at last.
I know his age. What is he, 21, 22?
21.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling won everything in the game domestically, went for what, 55 million plus add-ons, and he's got the experience that he's got.
Salary but factors into that as well.
So there we are. Gordon, it's been reported this lunchtime, has told Everton and Lampard, time up, I want to join Chelsea.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.